How can you protect the assets of a loved one that may be suffering from Alzheimer's or dementia? Listen to our Alls Around Town stories to learn more. Hello, it's Walt to End Alls from the Walk to End Alzheimer's Committee with another installment of the Alls Around Town series of discussions. I'm here today virtually with Michael Kasberg from Kasberg Law Group in Franklin. Michael, COVID-19 has demonstrated how vulnerable the elderly are and has made a lot of families realize that they need to think and plan ahead when it comes to protecting their assets. Can you tell us a little bit more about how families can protect the home of someone who is starting to show signs of Alzheimer's and dementia?
So without proper estate planning, the state of Massachusetts will decide how your assets go, and that's called intestacy laws. So they have a statute that will spell out how things will go in the absence of an estate plan. So that's why it's more important than ever now to do your will, to do your trust, to make sure your things go according to your wishes and how you want them to go. Who do you want to be in charge? So you could protect your home in multiple ways. There's the simple way, which is doing a last will and testament, which says, I give my home to my kids or to my spouse, whatever the case may be. That will need to go through probate in order for that to happen. A lot of times, the best way to do that is through trust, and there's multiple forms of trust. There's revocable trust. There's irrevocable Medicaid nursing home protection trust, which is if the nursing home is something that you would like to protect your home from, that is a good vehicle for you. But these are all things you should speak to a legal professional or your estate planning attorney about.
So, Michael, what is the difference between a trust and a will?
A will is what governs the probate process. So in the event someone passes away and they have an asset that they own in their name as an individual, that will need to go through the probate process in order for somebody to take control, manage, pay any debts and expenses, and then ultimately distribute. That's what a will controls. What a trust does, and why it's an excellent vehicle for many, many, many people, is number one, it avoids the probate process because anything the trust owns, it is managed and controlled by a trustee of the trust. So you don't need to go through that court process in order to go on to the next steps. And the trust itself, whatever you say in it is what needs to be done. So it still has that benefit of who do you want to name in charge, how do you want things to pass, and you can even get into more detail of how you want things to pass.
That's great. Thank you, Michael. Many of our constituents are passionate about finding a cure because they've seen firsthand how horrible Alzheimer's and dementia are. They themselves may be worried about brain disease. What would you recommend to people like that?
So that's a great question. In the estate planning world, you cannot act too soon. It's important to get things in place, at least the basics to start. So that way you have something in place to fall back on, whether that's a power of attorney, healthcare proxy, and a will. Because once you enter those stages, you lose the opportunity to do these things, and you need to go through other processes, which are most commonly through court processes. And that's just time, money, and grief. So by planning early and doing these things at an earlier date before really Alzheimer's or dementia are an issue, that's the best way to go forward with it.
Thank you. So, Mike, I noticed that you're one of our walkers at the Foxborough Walk, which will be in person or virtual this fall. What's your story? Why did you join?
Well, I really hope it's in person because that's the whole point of it, to get a community together and to raise funds and awareness for these issues. I'm particularly involved in it because I deal a lot with the elderly. I deal a lot with people who have these concerns at the forefront. So this is my way to give back to that community and be involved in that community more. And so that's why I'm involved in it. It's a great opportunity to bring awareness to everything, and education on most things in life are extremely important. So that's why I do it.
Well, this is great information, and we appreciate your time, Michael, to help educate, advocate, and find a cure for Alzheimer's. If you are interested in helping find a cure, please register for the Walk to End Alzheimer's at alz.org/walk for the Foxborough or Fall River Walks. Be well and stay safe. And thank you for your support.